His size was huge. In her memoir, Sondra Locke reveals all. Sondra Locke was born Sandra Louise Smith in Shelbyville, Tennessee, on May 28, 1944. A modest Southern family raised Locke. Her creativity and performance skills were evident early on. Her early years in Tennessee, though difficult, taught her resilience and independence that would shape her Hollywood career and personal struggles. Locke started his film career boldly and fatefully. She was chosen nationwide to play Mick Kelly in Carson McCullers' The Heart is a Lonely Hunter film adaptation in 1967. This breakout role propelled her to an Oscar and Golden Globe nomination for Best Supporting Actress. Her natural and emotionally raw performance captured the sensitivity and complexity of a young girl seeking love and belonging, according to critics. Locke seemed destined for a long and successful film career at 23. Locke became famous in the 1970s and 1980s for her acting and her relationship with Clint Eastwood. We met in 1975 while working on Josie Wales, an outlaw, and had a decade-long relationship. Locke appeared in several Eastwood films, including The Gauntlet, 1977, Every Which Way But Loose, 1978, Any Which Way You Can, 1980, and Sudden Impact, 1983. These roles showed her range, from strong-willed heroines to vulnerable women in extraordinary circumstances. Some critics felt Locke's partnership with Eastwood overshadowed her acting, but she brought nuance and depth to each role, making her memorable on screen. Locke's life behind the camera was more complicated than her Hollywood image suggested. Her long-term relationship with Eastwood was difficult. After the breakup in the late 1980s, Locke faced many personal and professional challenges. The good, the bad, and the very ugly. Her 1997 memoir detailed her emotional struggles and career sabotage, highlighting Hollywood women's struggles at the time. Locke bravely filed lawsuits to highlight gender discrimination, power abuse, and women's struggle for independence in a male-dominated industry. Locke directed in addition to acting, demonstrating her versatility. Rat Boy, 1986, a groundbreaking film, and Impulse, 1990, a crime thriller starring Teresa Russell, were directed by her. Locke's directing career was brief but significant. One of the few Hollywood women to direct, she paved the way for future women. Her work showed her determination to tell her own stories and challenge mainstream filmmaking. Locke also battled health. She had breast cancer in the 1990s and again later. Her spirit remained strong despite these obstacles. She was intelligent, articulate, and strong-willed until her death. Her personal friends admired and respected her for being witty, thoughtful, and unafraid to speak her mind. Sondra Locke married sculptor Gordon Lee Anderson on September 25, 1967, at Nashville's First Presbyterian Church, known for its beautiful architecture and intimate atmosphere, adding timeless elegance to their union. The wedding was officiated by Dr. Walter Rowe Courtney, who gave it a formal, dignified tone that emphasized its seriousness and personal significance. This wedding occurred 1 week after Locke began principal photography on her breakthrough film, The Heart is a Lonely Hunter, marking her life's dramatic intersection of personal and professional achievements. Locke and Anderson's 51-year marriage was a testament to their unwavering commitment, mutual respect, and deep emotional bond in an industry where long-term marriages are rare. However, Locke and Anderson's relationship began before their wedding. She met him in the late 1950s and formed a deep friendship that eventually became a romantic relationship. Their first meeting dates vary by up to 4 years. Emphasizing her early life, Locke was surrounded by creative and supportive people who shaped her. Locke and Anderson left Tennessee in 1968 after her breakthrough success in The Heart is a Lonely Hunter led to a flood of script offers and Oscar buzz. They moved into a chic condo at the Andalusia in West Hollywood, a creative hub for professional and personal growth. This put Locke in the heart of the entertainment industry and gave the couple a modern urban lifestyle where Anderson could continue his sculpting career and Locke could pursue her film career. Their West Hollywood relationship combined personal intimacy and professional ambition, allowing both to thrive creatively while remaining deeply connected. Sondra Locke's personal life was shaped by Clint Eastwood, the legendary actor and director known for his stoic demeanor and iconic Western and action film roles. Locke shares her decades-long relationship with Eastwood in her memoir, revealing admiration and pain. Her honest, punctuated words reveal the intimate world behind Hollywood's glamour. Locke's description of Eastwood evokes awe and grandeur. She writes that he was massive beyond his physical size. Locke describes how Eastwood's personality and frame dominated a room in her memoir. Sitting across from him in the beginning of their relationship made her feel excited and intimidated. He was magnetic, commanding attention, and creating an aura few could resist, she says. It wasn't just his height or posture, she admits. He felt a deeper force that bent the air around him. You knew he was in charge whether you wanted it or not. Locke's observations give readers a visceral sense of what it was like to be in someone's orbit with seemingly unlimited influence. Her memoir doesn't just focus on Eastwood's stardom. Locke also shows his private side, which often clashed with his public image. She recalls tenderness, vulnerability, and humor that contrasted with his stoic exterior in Dirty Harry and the Good, the Bad and Ugly. Locke remembers his unexpected gentleness, which seemed reserved for his closest friends. But they were brief and beautiful, like glimpses of sunlight through a storm. Locke says Eastwood's power and vulnerability made him fascinating and frustrating, inspiring love and conflict in their long-term relationship. Locke's memoir also discusses the challenges of dating Eastwood. She candidly discusses how his fame, ego, and busy schedule affected their relationship. It was like holding lightning with Clint, she writes. The energy, brilliance, and danger were simultaneous. You never knew when you'd be lifted or thrown. Through these reflections, Locke conveys the exhilaration and challenges of intimacy with someone whose life was always under scrutiny. She depicts the emotional turmoil, misunderstandings, and deep connections in a romantic, complicated, and painfully honest way. Locke's memoir shows her remarkable ability to examine her emotions and responses, depicting a complex relationship. Her reflections on Eastwood include self-awareness about her role in the dynamic. Although she was drawn to him, she knew she was entering a world where she might be overshadowed and lose her voice. This candor shows readers the psychological and emotional layers of a complicated, intense love. Sondra Locke's memoir captures the allure and challenges of being with Clint Eastwood, a giant both metaphorically and literally. She describes their relationship's magnetism, power, beauty, and turbulence, giving readers an honest look at Hollywood legend. Locke captures Eastwood's enormity and impact on her life in passages like, "He was massive. She would be affected personally, professionally, and emotionally for years." Her memoir is bold, revealing, and unforgettable, exploring love, fame, and the complexities of living with one of cinema's most iconic figures. Sondra Locke died at 74 on November 3, 2018, at her Los Angeles home, where she spent most of her adult life pursuing her career and personal goals. She died of cardiac arrest, which medical reports linked to breast and bone cancer complications she had privately battled. Locke's death ended a remarkable life that had been celebrated and scrutinized, especially due to her Hollywood career and personal struggles with health and relationships. The Pierce Brothers Westwood Village Memorial Park and Mortuary in Los Angeles, where many Hollywood legends are buried, cremated Locke's remains on November 9, 2018. Despite her fame, Locke valued privacy throughout her life, so her cremation was a private and intimate final arrangement. Her widower, Gordon Lee Anderson, her loving husband of over 50 years, received her ashes after the cremation. This act showed Locke and Anderson's deep and stable relationship despite her life's turmoil. Locke left Anderson her remains and $20 million, showing her financial success and her unwavering devotion to her husband. Anderson received emotional and financial support from Locke throughout their marriage, demonstrating her loyalty, generosity, and practical approach to protecting her closest family. Her wealth was a result of her successful acting and directing career and smart financial management. Locke's private, responsible, and steadfast commitment to her loved ones was evident in her later years, as she seemed determined to provide for Anderson in a way that honored their partnership of more than 50 years. Sondra Locke's death, cremation, and inheritance reflect her values, privacy, loyalty, and care for her loved ones. Locke's life story of artistic achievement, personal struggle, and complex relationships was marked by generosity and thoughtfulness that left a lasting impression on her family, friends, and the world that had admired her work for decades, even in her final decisions.